Hello, this is Jose Coyol, Associate Planner for the City of Oxnard's Community Development Department in the Planning Division. I will be narrating this presentation for Planning and Zoning Permit 21-516-36 for FGH Retail Services LLC for a Commercial Cannabis Business Retail Special Use Permit SUP for the project located at 2320 North Rose Avenue for Planning Commission hearing on October 7, 2021. Project description. A request to permit the operation of a commercial cannabis retail facility within an existing 23,275 square foot commercial suite of a 92,591 square foot multi-tenant commercial building on a 17.38 acre site. As part of the project, there will be a tenant improvement consisting of the following: the installation of new partitioning walls, security upgrades to the existing building, minor plumbing upgrades, upgrades to an existing fire alarm system, installation of security doors and windows, and upgrades to the store facade. Cannabis retail operations will be conducted between 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. The application was filed by Jeff Zook. Project location. The subject site is located at 2320 North Rose Avenue. As can be seen in this vicinity map, this project is going to be located on the northeastern side of the city, adjacent to US Highway 101. General plan and zoning maps. The general plan land use designation is Commercial General CG, while the zoning designation is General Commercial C2. Existing site. The subject site at 2320 North Rose Avenue is bordered by the following surrounded uses seen in this table. At the project site, the general plan and zoning is Commercial General CG and the General Commercial zoning designation. The existing land use is multi-tenant commercial shopping center. To the north is the general plan is Commercial Regional with a CR designation, and zoning of Rose Santa Clara Corridor Specific Plan SPLN. The existing land use designation is multi-tenant commercial shopping center. To the south, the general plan and zoning designations are Commercial General and General Commercial, and the current existing land use is multi-tenant commercial shopping center. To the east, it retains the general plan and zoning designation, and the existing land use is vacant warehouse building. To the west, once again, the general and zoning designations are retained, and the existing land use is multi-tenant commercial shopping center. Existing conditions. This is a street view looking north, and as can be seen, the project site is going to be located in the middle of this multi-tenant shopping center, where the Best Buy is located on one of the major tenant spaces and a Goodwill is located at the other. Background, development history. On March 8, 1995, the Land Use Advisors approved planning and zoning permit number 94-500-56 to allow the construction of a specialty shopping center totaling 223,741 square feet within a 21.59 acre site in two phases. As proposed, phase 1 would contain 6 buildings composed of 3 major tenant buildings and 3 freestanding pad sites, 781 parking spaces, landscaping, and various other site improvements. Major tenant 1 had been identified to operate as a Best Buy retail facility. The second phase, totaling 4.19 acres, would be located on the easternmost portion of the project site. It would consist of a 19,000 square foot expansion of major tenant 3, construction of additional 32,000 square feet structure with approximately 300 parking spaces and associated landscaping. This phase would require demolition of the T-shirt warehouse at 1975 Lockwood Street. Development history continued. On March 22, 1995, an appeal of planning and zoning permit number 94-556 was submitted. On April 4, 1995, the City Council held a public hearing to consider the appeal. The City Council upheld the approval of planning and zoning permit number 94-500-56 with restrictions to the scope of the project's proposal. The City Council limited the construction of the building designated as Major Tenant 1. They require parking and associated facilities in the building and all of the off-site improvements specified in the Land Use Advisors Resolution number 95-9. On December 13, 1995, the Planning Commission approved Planning and Zoning Permit 95-513 for the construction of Phase 1B, consisting of a 117,769 square foot shopping center. The proposed building area consisted of an 11,700 square foot expansion to the Best Buy building and two freestanding buildings of 42,025 square feet for Major 2 and 42,600 square feet for Major 3. Major 2 and Major 3 were expected to be occupied by a single tenant. 3 building pad areas for future commercial areas were also proposed along the Lockwood Street frontage. The pads ranged in size from approximately 5,400 square feet for Pad 1 to 10,044 square feet for Pad 2 to 6,000 square feet for Pad 3. Developer anticipated the future building on Pad 1 to be one or more retail businesses, Pad 2 to be occupied by a restaurant, and Pad 3 to be a gasoline service station with car wash or possibly a retail use component. Background development history continued. On February 14, 1995, an appeal of planning and zoning permit number 95-500-13 was submitted. Grounds of appeal were based upon access of emergency vehicles to Rio School District sites, pedestrian safety on the Rose Avenue freeway overpass, timing of the EIR certification, funding sources for the project, and the formulation of an assessment district to build a new overpass and freeway interchange. On June 12, 1996, the City Council denied the appeal of Planning and Zoning Permit 95-513 and adopted a resolution approving Planning and Zoning Permit number 95-500-13, limited to Major Tenant 2, approximately 23,275 square foot building, and deferring any future project approvals until formulation of the assessment district for the Rose and Highway 101 interchange was completed. Background: Cannabis Regulations. On April 2018, the City Council adopted a cannabis delivery ordinance, including permitting fees. In January 2019, the state legalized cannabis delivery by state licensed firms and limited the city's ability to regulate cannabis delivery. On June 18, 2019, City Council adopted Ordinance Number 2960, establishing regulations pertaining to manufacturing, testing, and distribution of cannabis. On October 1st, 2019, City Council adopted Ordinance Number 2965, modifying the discretionary permitting process along with other non-substantive ordinance adjustments pertaining to manufacturing, testing, and distribution of cannabis. On September 15, 2020, City Council adopted Ordinance Number 2985 to update the Cannabis Regulations in the city's newly adopted Industrial Code, Chapter 16 of the Oxnard City Code, OCC. Background: Cannabis Regulations continued. On December 1st, 2020, City Council adopted Ordinance Number 2994, establishing regulations to repeal and readopt the former the city's commercial cannabis business regulations pertaining to cannabis manufacturing, distribution, testing, and retail dispensaries contained in Chapter 11 of the Code. Commercial cannabis selection process. On January 7, 2021, FGH Retail Services LLC filed for a request to obtain a commercial cannabis business permit for a 23,000 square foot cannabis retailing site. On March 1st, 2021, FGH Retail Services LLC was awarded a conditional cannabis business permit for cannabis retail. In order to successfully commence and inaugurate the commercial cannabis business permit, FGH Retail Services LLC is required to receive approval of a special use permit as specified within Oxnard Code City Section 11-457. The site plan. Here we have a site plan of the project, as can be seen along the south-facing side on the corner of Lockwood Street and Rose. That would be the major component area of the parking spaces. Things to note at the site are that the tenant space is located in the middle of the current Best Buy tenant space and the Goodwill. Right now, a current Halloween store operates at the site. That will close, and then FGH will move in. The site will make use of an existing loading dock bay at the back of the property, along with the shared parking that currently exists at the site. Cannabis retail facilities need to operate with a parking ratio of 1 parking space per 250. And there's surplus parking based on the development history that has occurred at the site and the current configuration of the parking spaces, as can be outlined here on the parking analysis. Other components of the project include the current circulation of keeping the access through Lockwood Street and through one driveway through Rose Avenue. Elevations, perhaps the biggest change at the site that can be seen is going to be the proposed storefront upgrades as seen in the slide. As can be seen here, the site will be upgraded to look more modern. This new style includes neutral colors, repainting of the building as can be seen here by the various grays that will be used in natural tones. There will also be a new aluminum upgrade along the store's main tower. Here, this honey shaped comb looking design here to give it some texture. There will also be additional changes as far as paneling along the other tower elements on here, and there will also be canopies at the site. One thing to note on here is that this tree factory and emblem of a logo of signage have not yet been evaluated by the city, and the applicant team will be complying with those standards at a future date when the sign permit comes through. Floor plan and security plan. The applicant provided a security plan with a detailed floor plan, which was reviewed and conditionally approved by the police department. Security measures at the site include private security is required at the property. Security cameras will be installed. Adequate lighting will be provided on site. Cannabis products will be monitored, tracked, and placed in secure storage. Public comments. This project is not located within an established neighborhood. Therefore, a community workshop was not held for this proposal. To date, staff has received 2 letters from Sian M. Samimi on behalf of Jeffer Manglas Butler Mitchell LLP on April 24th and June 15, 2021. The 2 letters describe 1, that FGH Retail Services LLC has provided false and misleading information, and 2, the shopping center's covenants, conditions, and restrictions known as CCNRs prohibit the operation of a cannabis business. Staff has extensively reviewed the project and has found it to be in compliance with the city regulations. Furthermore, the city does not enforce CCNRs. Additionally, the city received a petition in support of the proposed project. To date, staff has not received any additional public comments regarding this project. Key conditions of approval. Conditions 14, 41, and 42 are to abide by the City of Oxnard and the State of California's rules and regulations related to this business. Condition 38, the commercial cannabis business permit shall expire and be subject to a renewal process in Chapter 11 of the Oxnard City Code 12 months after the date of issuance of the special use permit pursuant to Oxnard City Code Section 11-459. Retail operations. Condition numbers 59 through 60 and 134 through 135 provide regulatory action for a cannabis retail procedures to allow only eligible members of the community to purchase products and to allow for a secure selling environment. Police conditions. Conditions 81 through 155. Security features will be implemented as required by the adopted cannabis ordinance. Key conditions of approval continued. Fire department conditions. Conditions 156 through 175. This broad range of numbers indicates that the system is to be designed to be a safe facility. Community benefits and community relations. Conditions 48 through 51. 63 and 64. The project is conditioned to be a good neighbor and member of the community. Taxes and inventory tracking. Conditions 53 to 54 and 65 through 73. These set of conditions help the operator be a responsible corporate citizen. Environmental review. In accordance with Section 15301, Class 1, existing facilities of the State of California's Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, guidelines, project involving negligible or no expansion of use beyond the existing at the time of the lead agency's determination may be found to be exempt from the requirements of CEQA. This project includes a request for the operation of a cannabis retail facility within an existing individual building. The project will not increase square footage of the existing building. No substantial evidence the project will have significant effect on the environment. A notice of exemption will be filed. Staff recommendation that the Planning Commission, A, find the project to be categorically exempt from environmental review pursuant to California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, guideline sections 15301, existing facilities, and B, adopt resolution 2021 XX approving planning and zoning permit number 21-516-36, special use permit for cannabis retail, subject to certain findings and conditions. This concludes the end of staff's presentation for the Planning Commission hearing on October 7, 2021. Staff will be available for questions and comments. Thank you.